We want you to know that you're not alone and to realize your real estate vision. Community partnerships are essential. Partnerships with your bank, your neighbors, and ultimately your real estate professional.
To do so, experts in the affordable housing space, wealth principles, collaboration with businesses and philanthropic organizations, all in an effort to continue this meaningful transformation and enrich the lives of those we serve. We are here. We are in it. The endeavor to do better, to be better, to produce meaningful environments from the rubble of their individual situations and circumstances. To say proudly, it can be done. It can be done because we did it. And we can do it in your situations as well if you are willing to do the work.
Good day, Michael Williams, broker of record, EXIT Realty West Midtown. We're located at 1024 Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia, historic west side of Atlanta. Historically, this area has seen its share of, let's just say, tumultuous situations. So we're opening our office here in the west side of Atlanta to make an impact on this community and the city as a whole. And how do we do that in the real estate space? By giving this community something that it hasn't seen in quite some time. So we're excited to be here at 1024 Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway. And I am ecstatic about being the broker of record for this office and growing this office and doing some of the things that our community needs in terms of the resources that we can provide. A little bit about myself, small town kid, grew up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, a little small town kid, just wanted to make a difference. And I'm ecstatic again about some of those differences I can make here in this community. And as a city at large in the real estate space with education and the opportunities for any and all to take part of this historic change in our city of Atlanta. So that's a little bit about who I am. But more importantly, what it is our office does. Our office does, we operate on three basic principles. One of those principles is just simply a heart for people. You can't do what we do every single day, and people come from all walks of life. And I often say to our agents that people call us when there's an issue, right? They don't call us just to chit chat. They call us when grandma's house is in probate, or unfortunately somebody's going through a divorce. So these are real situations that we're tasked with solving for these people in our community. So first of all, we got to have a heart for people, and that's what our first obligation is to our community. The second thing is to leave people whole. We understand people will come to us from various situations and circumstances, but as an office, we run it leaving people whole. And how do we do that? We operate in the utmost of professionalism. So that's who we are as an office. That's what you can expect from myself as the broker of record in this office, and every single realtor in this office that works in this office to support our community. I will introduce you to our Director of Operations, Miss Lisa Williams. She'll talk a little bit about the operational piece and how we operationalize some of the things that we hold near and dear. Lisa.
Thank you, Michael. So as Michael mentioned, I'm Lisa Williams. I am the Director of Operations here at EXIT Realty West Midtown. And just to give you a bit of background about myself, I'm actually originally from Detroit, Michigan. I am an only child. And what I can share with you is that for me, to get to where I wanted to get to in life, my focus was education. It was my only way out. It was my only way to something different. So I bring that to the table here at EXIT Realty West Midtown, my desire to educate. In addition, I've spent about 20 plus years in corporate America working on systems, methodologies, implementing systems and processes. And so I bring that also to EXIT Realty West Midtown. And so as a Director of Operations, what I do is I focus on the agents and supporting them and making sure that when they come into the door, that they understand the processes, that they understand the tools that we have brought to bear to help enable those processes as we walk through from onboarding to, I would say, transaction management. The entire process I'm there to support and making sure that they have what they need to hit the ground running. So that is my focus as the Director of Operations, and I am elated to help anyone who needs help here at the office. Michael?
Yeah, thank you, Lisa, for all you do and the breadth of experience you bring to this endeavor that we've taken on at EXIT Realty West Midtown, and particularly in this area. So with that, we're excited to announce our newest associate broker, a part of our leadership team. She may recognize her lovely face, her lovely smile, but she's our associate broker, and also she's the Director of Community Resource and Engagement for our office. So we'll talk a little bit about what that means in a bit, but I want to thank Felicia, known Miss Felicia Moore for, 7+ years, and just been a champion for the community. So this is an ideal partnership for our community endeavors, working alongside this phenomenal talent and Miss Felicia Moore.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for welcoming me. I'm excited. You know, after many years, many of you know me, probably know my face. I've served this city as a community person, a neighborhood person, an elected official representing this area, as well as all of District 9 for 20 years, and then served citywide as president of the Atlanta City Council. And then I also ran for higher office in the city. And after not being successful at that, I had to sit back and think about, what would be next? I've been a licensed real estate agent since 2000 and got my broker's license in 2003. And I, was thinking about kind of leaving that alone for a minute. But after I thought about it, I thought about the fact that I still, no matter what I did next, I wanted to continue to serve. It's not easy to get out of that servant leadership mentality. And I thought about real estate. And then that very day or the next day, I got a text from Michael. And I said, you know what? He's opened a new brokerage right in the neighborhood, right in the hood. And maybe you might be interested in my vision if I was to continue my real estate career. And that would be to be able to help people. Because as an elected official, I received I don't know how many calls from people over the years. And we'll talk about some of those experiences in either this show or future show, where people really just needed information. They just needed to know what to do, what not to do. They needed to know what resources were available to help them. And they had to really become real with the fact that they may be getting scammed, or they may have put themselves or not done things that got them in a certain situation. Thus, kind of the name of the show, Realty. Everything about this industry and what you should know. Resources, what resources are available out there to help you, and the realities of the situation you're in. And we're solution oriented here, as Michael said, with a heart for the people, how we can help you. So what I will be doing here is twofold. One, serving my passion, which is service, as the Director of Community Resources and Engagement, as well as an associate broker. Buy, sell, lease, whatever aspect of real estate that you may need help in, I would certainly love to do that. I believe that if we make connections, develop relationships, establish trust with the community, the business will come. And Michael shares that vision as well. So I'm excited to be here. I want you all to help us, number one, by liking and sharing this video, because we want to make sure this show gets out and that people are able to see it in the YouTube or other algorithms that we may be on. So please take a moment, like and share this video. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about what EXIT Realty West Midtown means, what the philosophy is, and how we can serve you.
The real estate market continues to change. Your local EXIT Realty office is just a call away. At EXIT Realty, we sell homes. Reach out to us today.
Well, welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us. I certainly hope you took a moment to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Put on all notifications, because we're going to have a lot of good information for people out there. We want to make sure that you don't miss any. But Lisa and Michael, again, thank you all for allowing me to join your team. I'm really excited about this. Not you all.
I am over the moon about it. Our mutual interests and mutual passions are being really served in this in a great way, and I'm just over the moon ecstatic about it.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I mean, I also think it's a great fit. I think it aligns with some of the things that Michael and I have kind of started, and his original thoughts around the whole starting the EXIT Realty West Midtown. So I see too, but it's a good look. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences. Right? I mean, because when I'm sitting there with myself trying to decide what I was going to do next, I was going to, like I said, push the real estate part aside, because I'd been out running for office for about a year and a half. So got to start all over again,
Right.
Scratch. And then you text me about getting together for lunch, which
Yep.
we met periodically, and I said, wait a minute now. And so, I had about 5 different things I wanted to do, and several of them I'm meaning to do. One is, I'm having the position of Director of Community Resources and Engagement.
Right.
Helps me fulfill that need I had to serve people,
Right.
help people. And really importantly, in this day and time in the market, people need to be educated.
Yes, ma'am.
They just need to be educated.
Yes, ma'am. Indeed. I'm grateful that you're so giving with your time all the time, and just hearing what our vision, our passion is. And that alignment was almost instantaneous with how you serve and how we see that we have to serve this community. I'm not certain who said it, but someone said it a long time ago that anybody can be great because anybody can serve. And your service level of your body of work is unmatched, impeccable in that service component. And we want to just really highlight that in the marketplace, in the field of real estate. There's so many things that we can help people with just by educating I love what Lisa said. Her basic foundation is education, and she brings that to the table in terms of how we educate people about the various pitfalls that could happen in real estate. Everybody has somebody that sold a house that something didn't work out right, or a grandma passed away and didn't have a will. These are just real life, real people situations, and we often pass by homes people are tough, but we don't know the backstory of some of those people. Could avoid that situation by us being able to provide some just basic information about how to protect the roof over your head, how to protect your assets should something happen, and how to purchase it properly. So we're ecstatic, Ms. Felicia Moore, that you have partnered with us to really beat the drum in this area of service in our community.
Yeah, the goal is, for EXIT Realty West Midtown to be known as that focal point. It's not all about, of course, we're in business to make money, to do this to make money, but there's also a big reward in just coming. So, they can have a question. People get those phone calls all day, every day. Mm-hmm. They want to buy in the house. I get it about 2 or 3 different times.
Right.
If you maybe consider, whatever, do you really know what it is? So, just give us a call here. We will be able to give you a comparative market analysis to give you a more truer sense of the value of your property, so you don't end up just selling it to you.
Absolutely. And then just arming you with the information, Mr. Customer. So if you get that call, you'll have an idea what your value is.
Exactly.
So that's a very basic step that we can do sometimes in a day or so to provide you that real detailed analysis. So that's a great point you bring up.
And so I want to go to Lisa because as a point of me kind of considering whether I was going to continue, like I said, I had my license since 2000. I have been at 3 different firms in that period of time. And one of the things that was like, is when you get out of the field for maybe about a year and a half, because it changes so much on the agents, I knew, even though I was a broker, I was experienced, that it was going to take me a minute to get back up to speed. And then the firm I was with ended up turning out, selling off to someone else. And so I'm like, okay, I'm really starting over. But I want to give you kudos, because I'm going to tell you all, coming to EXIT Realty West Midtown, if you're an agent out there, the onboarding process that you've established, which you kind of talked about your background, so it makes a lot of sense. It's hard. The national office ought to be looking at it because really it's a lot, dude. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I found over my experience is when you go to a new office, they just, hey, welcome to board, and they throw you in, and you have to go to this. You help make the process so easy. So what was what were you thinking about when you decided to come up with this onboarding program?
So I want to first say I had help, right, in terms of EXIT Corporate provides resources, big picture, right, in terms of how to shape it. But then I brought to the table, as I mentioned, my background in systems and processes and sort of tried to streamline it further. What I know for a fact is when you're bringing something into play, there's 3 ways people learn. I know the basis of how they learn. First of all, you have to show them, then you have to tell them, and you have to let them. So I brought that sort of mindset of a methodology of how you train someone into the onboarding. So as part of the onboarding, I make sure that we try to break it down in bite-sized pieces, but in addition to that, it's hands-on. So it is not an onboarding where you're going to come in and you're going to receive paperwork and just going to walk away. No, we're going to be together as a group, how many ever is in the group, and we're going to work through and make sure everything is set up real time. And so I find that to be most effective. And I find that as time goes on, the agents are actually set up and using the things you want them to use, as opposed to leaving them to their own device, right?
Yeah, because they just left me. Yeah, if you have 4 or 5 things you need to sign up. probably would have maybe done one or two.
Correct. That is correct. That is true for all of us. So what I try to do is know enough about it so that I can help them through it. I try not to be an expert in everything, but we do have experts in the various, tools that we enable. But I help them at least get over the threshold so they can see the value in it, so then want to utilize it. So that is that's the focus for me in terms of onboard.
Yeah. And I'm going to come back to you and talk more about the agents, because, I just thought I was transferring from one agency to another. But there are a lot of great benefits to be with EXIT Realty. And we'll come back and talk about that in a minute. But I want to, Michael, let's talk a little bit about some of the principles of EXIT Realty West Midtown and what services the core of your business.
Right. I'm glad you said that, because in this space, especially in this day and time, many know this, but I'll just reiterate it, that housing is the biggest purchase most people will do in their entire life. This is the biggest purchase most people will make. And oftentimes, there's people out there, I've been in this space 21 years, that's doing it just wrong. Just wrong. Just how we treat people and their assets and that kind of thing. And it disturbed me, to be quite honest. I could not, in good faith, sleep good at night, knowing that I couldn't fix something, right? Let me give you a statistic. 81% or 80+%, that number changes all the time by the National Association of Realtors. They don't use the same realtor they used to initially purchase the product. So 80% of people saying, yeah, 80+%, yeah, I used you, we got it closed, but I will never use you again. That's an alarming number that says there's people just not being serviced. That just, what are your needs? What are your needs? So first thing, we wanna operate in the utmost professionalism. Whatever their situation is, it could be myriad situations that they are faced with. So we want to operate with the professional intent. That's the first thing. But and to do so, we got to have a heart for people. We got to understand that this is not about me. It's not about Michael. At the end of this transaction, I was just a vehicle to get them there. They're going to be living in this house, raising kids in this house, grandkids coming over to play in the backyard. So it's not about me. So we got to have a heart from the people. It's not about me. So if they are going to buy a car while they're under contract for a house and we need to make some adjustments, we need to be able to be that resource, that vehicle. So that's the second thing that we do. And the final thing, we want to leave people hope. Whatever when the situation closes, we want you to be whole. Whatever that wholeness looks like for each and every person that we have at our midst.
And I think, that you use the word professionalism, and I believe that professionalism, and I'm going to add the word integrity or trust, are reasons why people don't repeat. Now, the time that I've been in real estate, I'd say 90% of the people that I've serviced are repeat customers.
Yeah.
And why are they repeat customers? Because they know that I'm a professional.
Right.
They know they can trust me.
Right.
As a matter of fact, 100% of them were either people that I knew or I had met, and they said, Felicia, I'm coming to you because I trust you. There are, realtors out there, or real estate agents out there that are a little questionable or just about getting the commission. And people can feel that, whether it's about them or whether it's about them.
Yeah.
The them is the customer service. And so, I remember once someone sent me an email. This is when I was with another firm, and they found me through the internet. Mm-hmm. And I picked up the phone and I called. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting them as a client because they said, I sent this thing back to all of these people about this house, and you're the only one that called them back. So just those small things, making sure people understand that what they're doing with their most greatest asset is just as important to you as it is to them. So they can trust that you in.
And absolutely. There's one client that well known, she's the ultimate professional. And I consider her a friend. So she called me one day out of the blue. And she's like, it's the CEO, it's the CFO, and she's like number 3 in her company. So she's a big deal. And she said, Michael, I could have called anybody, but I called you because I trust you. And I was like, that's my commission right there. Not the check at the table. I earned her trust. And we've been working well together ever since. And been a friend for 30 plus years, but that really spoke to me. That said, I must be going about this the right way, that people give me their trust even before they sign any documentation that we will send to them. So that's very, very important.
And if you remember in our initial talk, we talked about how trust is a factor. Well, all feeds into the whole community resource and engagement piece. It's because what we want to do with you out there in the community is help to build your trust and professionals in the industry. And if you need real estate needs, and we'll do things, we're going to be doing this because it's a service to the community. It's not for us to get paid. Yeah. But if you do have a need for real estate, I think you would think of someone that you worked with and that you trusted. And for agents out there, I'm telling you, the onboarding process here was great, but I was also amazed at the national office, corporate office, and the benefits that there are for agents to move their license to EXIT Realty. And so, Lisa, could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So when we talk about realtors looking to move to EXIT Realty West Midtown, we'll start talking about EXIT Corporate, what they offer, right? So one of the things that's unique to EXIT is what we call residual income. So as agents or realtors invite other realtors into the EXIT family, EXIT provides a 10% equivalent benefit for every transaction that realtor closes. And so as time goes on, it's a way for realtors to receive income in between the gaps, so to speak, right? The other benefit of that is they also identify a beneficiary. And so if something were to happen to them, their beneficiary receives 5%. But then there is a retirement benefit as part of that. And so as an agent decides to say, hey, you know what? I've been doing this for a while. I'm going to take a break. They can certainly take a break and continue to receive 7% of every person ever invited into the EXIT system, right? And so that's a benefit from EXIT Corporate. But as we talk about specific to EXIT Realty West Midtown, and Michael has talked about, you guys have talked about kind of our tenet of having a heart for people, right? And so what I will share is that is absolutely the case here, right? In terms of realtors being in this office, I can speak to, because I've seen Michael work as the broker of record. We had an agent here who, as she was preparing to close a deal, did not complete her post-licensing in time. And so Michael had to step in and go to the closing on behalf of that realtor. And in doing so, the realtor wasn't able to receive the check right then and there. But what Michael did was what I thought was phenomenal. He stepped in and said, I'll go. Once you complete your exam and you passed it, you come back and then we'll pay you. And now I'm understanding that's not typical. No, that's not typical that brokers do that, right? So that is having a heart for people. It also includes the realtors in this office, and that's specific to this office. The other thing is, we've talked about profit, right? And while as a brokerage, that is the desire. No one opens a business without the goal of trying to be profitable. That is the goal, right? But we don't put the profit of the brokerage above the agent, right? And so our desire is not to nickel and dime the agents, right? You don't want to charge you for printing. We talked about these things up front and decided that it was not in the best interest of the brokerage to nickel and dime the agents. So there are things that we just don't do, and it's just a part of our, our values, and we don't, So I think in terms of realtors looking at opportunities or options, I think personally, EXIT Realty West Midtown is a great option to come and talk and listen to and find out what's happening here.
I do too, and in your onboarding, I'm going to keep saying that it's Karna, and then just, I've been here and for over a month or so now. And I'm just going to tell people that they are available. Lisa's available for every little question with a smile, and Michael's there just if you want to bounce off some of the things that you're doing with him. He's available, and so that means a lot. And many of you who are out there who've been in the business in a while know that that is not always the case. So what we're going to do now is take a quick break, have a short video about Exit Realty and how you can join. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to close out this first segment of Realty, Resources, and Reality. So let's take this quick break. Welcome back to Realty, Resources, and Realities. Felicia Moore, your host, and I want to thank Lisa and Michael for joining us on this first show. We will have a series of shows. It will be bi-weekly, and I'm asking you to please make sure you like and subscribe and share this video because we want to make sure more people get information. We're gonna cover it all. And most importantly, I want us to make sure that we cover what you care about. So please email me at AskFelicia@exitwestmidtown.com. We'll have it up on the screen if you didn't get it, but that's AskFelicia@exitwestmidtown.com. And I'm gonna respond to you immediately if it's a personal issue, or it may be an issue that we need to bring up on the show. I don't profess to be an expert in everything, and so where I can bring someone who has more expertise, we're going to bring it in. We're also going to be doing, this is a tape live premiere, but we will be doing live shows as well, where you can have face-to-face, almost face-to-face. As a matter of fact, you probably can join in, or interactive discussion. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, Felicia Moore, or Realty, Resources, and Realities. Please like us, share us, subscribe, and we will see you on our next show. Thank you.
They want to work smarter. They want to have a great work-life balance, but they also want to change the world. And they want to do their part in changing the world. They want to embrace a company that cares. And now with the opportunity for residual income, they can create anything. Forget about game changer. This is without question a life changer for the business.